Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. I am not asking you today. I am warning you with absolute authority. Do not move past this message. Archangel Michael has intercepted your timeline for a specific reason. What I am about to reveal was firmly sealed in the highest courts of heaven until this exact second. If you leave before the end, you will forfeit your prophetic instruction. The enemy is working overtime to distract you right now. He is whispering lies into your left brain. He wants you to swipe away and ignore this divine appointment. But you must lock your attention here. The verdict on your next 10 years is about to be read aloud, and heaven is preparing something massive for you tonight. You cannot afford to miss this shift. This is not a coincidence. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here today. God intercepted your feed because you are standing at the threshold of a permanent shift. You have been waiting in the dark for so long, and you believed your sacrifices were completely invisible to the universe. But Archangel Michael is stepping in tonight to change everything. He carries a decree that will shatter the matrix holding you back. Your spiritual enemies are terrified of what happens next. They know that if you hear the full truth today, their hold over your life breaks forever, leaving them powerless. They are doing everything possible to break your focus. You must fight that urge and stay. Your divine inheritance is on the line. Listen closely to the frequency of my voice. The anointed ones are the only souls capable of receiving this transmission. A massive energetic portal is opening for you tonight, but it requires your strict obedience to stay within this protective shield. Do not let the digital noise pull you back into the illusion of the ordinary world, because you are not an ordinary person. You are a cycle breaker, chosen to carry a light that terrifies the dark elite. The heavy exhaustion you feel right now is not random, because it is the actual spiritual friction of your upcoming elevation. Archangel Michael is commanding you to hold the line for just a few more minutes. The mandate releasing tonight will permanently reverse the damage done to your weary soul. If your spirit feels a cellular knowing right now, you must not resist. The enemy is screaming at you to leave because he sees the crown descending upon your head. Every second you stay here builds a fortress of fire around your energy field. The spiritual warfare you endured this past week was merely a distraction, and they wanted you too tired to receive the gift. Lock your eyes on the screen and breathe deeply. We are about to cross over into the raw truth that they hid from you. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your mind as you listen, and he is clearing the dense fog that was artificially placed over your vision. You must hear every single word of this transmission. Do not let your human logic interfere with divine will. Missing a fraction of this message leaves a crack in your armor. Tonight is the night the scales tip permanently in your favor. The tears you shed are being converted into undeniable power. Heaven is demanding your focus because the shift requires your conscious participation, and you must not turn your back on this portal. Do not break the connection. The revelation is unfolding right now. Defy them. Claim your sovereignty by refusing to be moved. The instructions for tonight are encoded in the next few minutes. Your breakthrough is no longer a distant promise, but an immediate physical reality waiting for your alignment. Stay with me. The prophetic decree is about to alter your reality forever. Let us go deeper into what your body is experiencing right now. You are not crazy. That heavy feeling in your chest is very real. And every night when you wake up at exactly 3 in the morning, your heart is racing wildly in the dark for absolutely no logical reason. You feel a suffocating weight. You stare at the ceiling in complete exhaustion. Your jaw is clenched tight. This is not normal stress. The medical world will tell you it is just ordinary fatigue. They will try to give you scientific labels to keep you trapped in the matrix, but heaven wants you to know the raw truth about your divine biology. You are highly sensitive. Your physical body is acting as a massive spiritual antenna. You are actively absorbing the frantic energy of desperate people who do not have their own light. You are their human battery. Someone has been feeding on your pure frequency for a very long time. You know exactly who I am talking about. They walked into your life carrying deep voids, and they used your radiant aura to plug their own empty holes because they cannot generate their own spark. You gave them everything. You poured your golden energy into a bottomless pit until your own cup ran dry. This is why your bones ache. This is the spiritual toll of your immense kindness. Think about the intense fog wrapped around your mind lately. You struggle to find simple words. Your memory feels completely fragmented during the day. This happens because your energetic shield was constantly under attack by invisible forces trying to breach your peace. The dark elite want your mind clouded so you cannot see your own majestic power. They need you weak. They need you to doubt your own sanity. You have been carrying this heavy burden in absolute silence. You hide the pain behind a brave smile while everyone else around you simply takes from you. They treat you like an endless reservoir of healing, but they never bother to ask how you are holding up under the pressure. Your soul is crying out for rest. The physical pain in your shoulders is the literal weight of their toxic garbage that you unknowingly carried. Every time their name pops into your head, your stomach ties into tight knots. You try to push the uncomfortable thought away, but it lingers. That is not just a random memory haunting your waking hours. It is a parasitic cord attached directly to your delicate nervous system. They are still trying to siphon your life force from a distance. They are starving for your attention because their own reality is crumbling. But tonight the dynamic fundamentally shifts. Archangel Michael sees the exact coordinates of these demonic attachments on your physical body. He is drawing his flaming sword to sever every single cord that drains your vitality, and you will physically feel the massive release in your cells. A sudden wave of cool peace will wash over your burning chest. You are finally being unplugged from their toxic matrix. Stop wondering if you did something wrong to deserve this deep exhaustion. Stop searching for flaws in your own pure heart. You were targeted specifically because your spiritual vibration is incredibly rare, and the enemy only attacks the ones who carry the greatest threat to his broken kingdom. Your exhaustion is the ultimate proof of your massive threat level. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. The physical symptoms you feel today are the final labor pains of your old life. The heavy chest and the sleepless nights are about to vanish completely. Archangel Michael is reconfiguring your cellular structure right now as you listen to my voice. Do not look back at the fragile people who drained you. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. You are the true stabilizer of your entire bloodline. Your body took the heavy hit so that the generational curse could finally be broken. Take a deep breath and let the healing frequency of this message wash over you. The permanent extraction of the spiritual parasites has officially begun. Tonight you will sleep with the profound peace of a guarded sovereign. We are just getting started. Look closely at the people around you right now. The silence in your life is deafening. The friends you trusted have suddenly disappeared when you needed them most. And the family members who should have protected you stood by and watched you bleed while doing absolutely nothing. You were completely abandoned. You feel like the black sheep wandering in a vast desert. They smiled in your face. Then they turned around and stabbed you in the back. They whispered cruel lies to anyone who would listen to their false narrative. You watched them form groups against you, and the people you helped heal suddenly became the architects of your heartbreak because they secretly envied your beautiful light. It hurts deeply. You wonder why your pure love met such vicious betrayal. It feels unfair, but Archangel Michael wants to completely reframe your reality right now. You are looking at this isolation like a wounded human, you must view it through the lens of divine strategy. This is not a punishment, but rather an absolute divine quarantine designed to keep your energy safe. God did not isolate you because you are flawed. He isolated you to protect your rare frequency from their infection. The universe saw exactly what they were doing in the dark. Heaven heard the malicious conversations they had when you were not in the room. They were secretly planning to drag you back into their toxic matrix. And if heaven had allowed them to stay close to you, their dense energy would have corrupted your massive calling. You had to be separated. Your spiritual survival depended on this harsh cut. You are not lonely. You are safely hidden in the incubation season. This empty space around you is a protective fortress built by angels. They were merely spiritual leeches attached to your destiny, and heaven forced them out to make room for the massive blessing arriving tonight. The people who walked away were never meant to cross into your promised land anyway. You must stop mourning them. You have always been the empath in the middle of chaos. You played the loyal peacemaker. You absorbed their anger and tried to turn it into love. But you can never negotiate with energetic parasites because they only want to consume your soul until nothing is left. Archangel Michael intervened because your empathy became a dangerous trap. You were loving your enemies while they plotted your destruction. They did not reject you because you were inadequate. They rejected you because your pure light was a blinding mirror. Your presence exposed the rotting foundation of their false lives. They could not stand next to a diamond and pretend their cheap glass was valuable. So they conspired in the shadows to bury you in the dirt, but they severely miscalculated the power of your divine origin. You do not break. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for. The curses stop entirely with you. This isolation was the price of your permanent freedom. The universe forcefully removed these toxic individuals from your path before they could poison the harvest you are about to receive. Be grateful for the closed doors. Those doors locked the monsters outside your sacred temple. The silence you hear now is not the sound of abandonment. It is the sacred quiet before a massive storm of miracles. Heaven is clearing the stage because your timeline is shifting right now. They will soon witness the magnificent glory they foolishly threw away, and they will realize they can never access your table again. The people who abandoned you will simply watch you rise from a distance. Stop waiting for an apology that will never come. You do not need their validation to claim your royal identity. You are part of the remnant chosen for victory. Archangel Michael has locked your energetic perimeter, and you are finally safe from the daggers they tried to plant in your back. Let the pain of betrayal wash away tonight. Now we prepare for the raw truth they hid. Heaven is now releasing 3 specific truths the Matrix tried to hide from you. The enemy is absolutely terrified of what happens when you finally hear this. Listen to my voice very closely right now, because 99% of ordinary people completely miss this massive energetic shift while they are distracted. Here is the first hidden truth. Your aura is not just a soft, gentle light. It is a blinding weapon of divine authority. The narcissist saw this golden frequency the exact moment they first met you. They realized instantly that you possessed something they could never buy with worldly money. You carry a specific gravity that bends time itself, and this divine protection shields your physical vessel from their dark energy. You stepped out of their toxic matrix, and you aged backwards. Your glorious glow is absolutely undeniable today. They spent many long years praying for your massive downfall. They expected the painful betrayals to carve deep, heavy wrinkles into your face. They wanted to see you drained and broken. But instead, you walked through the raging fire and came out glowing like a brilliant star. Nothing makes your enemies sicker than watching you step into a room looking younger and completely unbothered, because it proves their manipulation failed. This effortlessly destroys their false sense of pride. You were always the clear mirror, reflecting their truth. Your pure frequency forced them to look at their own rotting souls. They tried to dim your light by feeding you constant lies about your divine worth. They needed you to feel incredibly small, so they could feel powerful and remain in control of the false narrative they carefully built. But a true diamond does not lose its inherent value just because a blind person cannot see it. Type 1111 in the comments right now to physically anchor this exact shift into your current reality. You must never skip this vital spiritual step today. Your physical action locks your energetic frequency securely in place. Heaven demands your active participation in this timeline. The people who tried to bury you in the dark actually planted a highly advanced spiritual seed, and now that beautiful seed is erupting into a magnificent tree of absolute power. The enemy uses artificial charm to manipulate the masses. They wear a fragile mask to hide their dark intentions from the ordinary world. But your light is entirely authentic and deeply rooted in the eternal divine source. When you enter a space, the atmospheric pressure literally changes around your physical body. Spiritual demons tremble in absolute terror when they sense your specific vibration approaching, because they know your truth will expose their lies immediately. Your aura disrupts the low frequency of the entire room. Every single curse they spoke over your life simply bounced off your radiant shield. Their toxic gossip and their bitter lies could never penetrate your thick divine armor. They are aging rapidly because the spiritual cost of their heavy betrayal is compounding every single day. The universe is aggressively stripping away their false youth and exposing their true wicked nature to the public, while you are being completely rejuvenated by the endless river of heavenly energy. Your ultimate victory is entirely inevitable today. You must stop hiding your brilliant frequency to make broken people feel comfortable. Archangel Michael commands you to shine with absolute authority, starting tonight. Let the blinding light of your spirit expose every single hidden snake in the tall grass. You are a demonstrated warrior of light who survived the hardest battles known to humanity, and you must wear your deep scars like a majestic crown of immense glory. They assumed you would collapse under the heavy weight of their systematic psychological abuse. But your cellular structure is woven with highly advanced protective light codes. Your quiet existence is a constant reminder of their massive eternal failure, and it drives them crazy when they look at your ultimate success. Now you must prepare your heart for what comes next. The divine revelations are only going to get much deeper. Pay close attention to this next part. The enemy tried desperately to hide this from you. Here is the second undeniable truth that heaven is releasing tonight. Your absolute silence is a lethal weapon. You thought doing nothing was a sign of weakness, and you felt guilty for not fighting back to defend your pure name. But heaven orchestrated your quiet departure flawlessly. When you walked away, you did not just leave a toxic room. You completely cut off their primary oxygen supply. The narcissist requires your constant emotional reaction to survive in their false matrix. They feed on your chaotic anger and your desperate tears. But when you went silent, you violently starved their inner demons, leaving them to suffocate in the dark without your golden energy. This is the true power of your boundary. Leaving was never an act of cowardice. It was a highly calculated spiritual strike against a demonic stronghold. They expected you to beg for closure. They waited eagerly for you to write long paragraphs explaining your deep pain, because your pain is the exact currency they use to buy their fragile self-esteem, and they desperately need your validation to feel important. But your profound silence handed them a permanent eviction notice instead. Your lack of response is actively destroying their mental wiring. They are obsessively checking to see if you are watching them. They create loud drama, simply hoping to bait you back into the heavy crossfire. but you are completely untouchable now while you observe their pathetic performance from a royal balcony. They look like desperate clowns performing in a burning circus tent. Type 777 in the comments right now if you claim this power. You must anchor this profound realization deep into your cellular memory. Your silence is not a void. It is a massive, heavy wall of divine fire. While they are screaming into the empty void, heaven is actively preparing your table and ensuring your enemies watch your massive elevation. The chosen ones never engage in petty earthly wars. Every day that you do not reach out compounds their internal agony. They realize they pushed away the only diamond they ever held. They traded your brilliant light just to play with cheap, worthless rocks. The specific gravity of their intense regret is hitting them all at once. They are drowning in the loud noise of their own toxic making, and they frantically search for a replacement only to find ordinary, shallow souls. Your energy is simply impossible to replace. Nobody can replicate your specific depth. You are the irreplaceable force that held their chaotic lives together. Without you acting as the stabilizer, their entire world is rapidly fracturing. They assumed they could discard you and simply move on to the next easy victim. But they severely miscalculated the massive spiritual backlash of harming an anointed cycle breaker, and now they are paying the ultimate price. They are trapped in their own personal hell. Do not break your silence for any reason. Archangel Michael is demanding your absolute discipline tonight. If you speak to them, you willingly reopen a portal to the lower matrix. Let them choke on the bitter consequences of their own malicious actions. Vengeance belongs entirely to the universe, and the universe is currently executing a flawless judgment on your behalf while you rest safely. You must protect your peace at all costs. Your quiet obedience in private has just activated a massive public blessing. You weaponized your peace and defeated an army without lifting a single finger. Let this raw truth sink deeply into your spirit right now. You are winning the spiritual war by simply existing in pure joy. Because you stepped away from the toxic battlefield, heaven is now stepping in to fight your remaining battles with undeniable divine force. The tables have completely turned in your favor. But there is a third revelation you must hear before the night ends. The third truth is the most powerful mandate of all. It involves the exact frequency shift that guarantees your massive earthly reward. The dark elite are terrified you will reach the end of this transmission. Stay locked in right now, because the final pieces of this divine puzzle are falling perfectly into place, and your absolute victory is secured. We are moving to the final stage of your deliverance. Here is the third and most profound truth you must hear today. Your personal vibrational frequency is completely overturning the entire battlefield. The dark elites thought they could break your spirit. They tried to drag you down to their miserable level so you would stay trapped in their lower dimensions. But your frequency did not drop because you instantly rose much higher. Your cellular structure responded to their heavy attacks by activating a highly advanced quantum defense protocol. You literally shifted out of their energetic reach, while they are desperately trying to operate in a dense reality of fear and lack. You are vibrating at the absolute highest frequency of pure creation. They cannot even touch your shadow now. Read that again in your spirit. This is an undeniable frequency mismatch. You are no longer compatible with the toxic matrix they designed to enslave you. Every single time they tried to project their bitter envy onto your life, your synchronized coherence simply converted their dark energy into massive fuel for your glorious expansion. You turned poison into pure gold. The tables are turning so violently that it is literally causing a shockwave in the spiritual realm. You are standing absolutely still while the entire universe bends to accommodate your new royal status. Your mere existence is actively dismantling their corrupt empires. They are sinking rapidly into the heavy quicksand of their own nasty karma, while you effortlessly levitate above the noise. Stay with me right now, because this next revelation is the key to everything. The spiritual physics of your timeline have been permanently altered today. The universe is mathematically forced to match your internal frequency with massive external rewards. Because you maintained your pure light in the darkest valleys, heaven is now unlocking the supreme vaults of divine abundance just for you. Type 888 in the comments. If you feel the atmosphere actively shifting around you right now, you must physically claim this specific frequency shift. Your left brain might try to inject doubt by telling you this is impossible. You must violently silence that matrix programming. Your logic is a tiny cage, but your cellular knowing is an infinite royal palace. Your radiant frequency is currently weaponizing their malicious gossip. Every time they mention your pure name in their toxic circles, they accidentally send a surge of divine protection straight into your energetic field. They are literally funding your massive spiritual promotion with their own bitter jealousy. They thought they were destroying your reputation, but they were actually building your throne. You are the literal sun. A diamond does not ever chase validation from ordinary dirt. You simply exist in your brilliant truth and allow the intense gravity of your light to pull every single blessing toward you. Financial miracles and deep physical healing are magnetically drawn to your current vibration. You do not have to struggle or hustle anymore. You only need to align. Archangel Michael is commanding the unseen forces to clear every single obstacle from your golden path. The heavy chains of your past are melting like cheap wax under the intense heat of your new spiritual vibration. You carry a specific anointing that terrifies the dark elites, and they are watching in absolute horror as you step into your untouchable divine power tonight. This profound shift is about to manifest in the physical world in ways that will leave your enemies completely speechless. The people who quietly enabled the narcissist are beginning to feel the massive change in the wind. The false kingdom is shaking right now because your frequency just shattered their fragile foundation. We are rapidly approaching the exact moment of their public undoing. Do not let anything distract you as we move forward. The revelation of their ultimate collapse is directly tied to your unwavering focus right now. Your frequency has officially flipped the script of your entire destiny. Heaven is preparing to show you the physical evidence of your unseen victories, and the undeniable proof is arriving faster than you can possibly imagine. Now I need you to imagine this exact scenario happening behind their closed doors, because the spiritual pressure is reaching an absolute boiling point. The people who blindly followed your enemy are starting to wake up. We call them the flying monkeys. They are the enablers who eagerly swallowed every single toxic lie told about you. They stood by and watched you bleed. They thought they were backing the winning horse. They participated in the cruel gossip because it made them feel safely included in the false matrix. But the atmosphere in their camp is violently shifting today. The dark elite cannot maintain the illusion without your massive energetic supply, and the narcissist is desperately running out of fuel. And because you removed your pure light, the ugly shadows are becoming impossible to hide. The mask of the master manipulator is slipping terribly. The enablers are finally seeing the raw monster you tried to warn them about. They notice the erratic behavior. They see the unhinged panic in the eyes of the person they once idolized. Your absolute silence was the master key that unlocked their destruction. Because you refused to fight, the narcissist has nobody to blame for their own internal chaos. They are malfunctioning loudly. They are lashing out at the very people who protected them, and the loyal soldiers are suddenly becoming the new targets of the abuse. The flying monkeys are looking at each other in sheer absolute horror. They are slowly realizing that you were never the problem. You were the holy stabilizer, keeping that entire toxic structure from collapsing. The heavy guilt of betraying a chosen cycle breaker is crushing their fragile minds because they bet their absolute loyalty on a rapidly sinking ship. Whispers are spreading rapidly through their dark corridors. The false kingdom is entirely turning on itself like starving wolves. They are frantically trying to figure out how they got completely played by a parasite. Every time they look at your life from a distance, they see your undeniable, ageless glow. Your quiet peace terrifies them deeply. They see you thriving in the exact places they tried to bury you. You glow with divine authority. Meanwhile, their environment turns into a miserable prison. They desperately want to reach out and apologize for the immense pain they caused you in the dark. But heaven has permanently sealed the energetic portal, meaning they cannot access your glorious frequency ever again. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your name. Heaven is forcing them to eat the bitter fruit of their blind loyalty. The truth is marching through their camp and destroying every false narrative they built against you. The vindication you waited for is brewing right now, and the massive storm of divine justice is directly overhead. There are millions of chosen ones currently fighting this exact same silent battle. They need to hear this validation today. Share this video with someone who is desperately waiting for this exact breakthrough. Be their angel today. You are a massive leader in disguise, and your physical action helps awaken the rest of the remnant worldwide. The final judgment is approaching incredibly fast. The tension is thick. The master manipulator is about to lose everything they stole. Do not scroll away as we cross into the most explosive revelation of this entire transmission. The public collapse you were promised is happening next. Archangel Michael is striking the final blow. Let them panic in the terrible mess they created. Your only job tonight is to watch the magnificent power of the universe unfold before your eyes. They laughed at your pure heart when they thought they held the ultimate earthly power. But the cosmic scales demand absolute balance, and we are entering the realm of immediate and undeniable divine retribution. And here is the raw verdict we promised at the very beginning. The massive public collapse you were waiting for is happening right now. They walked into a crowded room expecting absolute worship and constant praise, but the spiritual atmosphere was already heavily rigged against them by divine forces. They wore their fragile fake smile. They prepared their toxic lies about you. They truly thought they still held supreme earthly power over your pure life. But Archangel Michael silently stripped their authority the moment they entered that specific space. The heavy mask did not just slip slightly, it completely shattered in front of the exact people they used to gossip with. Someone casually mentioned your pure name in conversation. And instead of acting cool, the master manipulator violently lost absolute control of their emotions because they realized their false narrative was rapidly dying. They started stuttering blindly. They physically panicked and began sweating right there in the open. The quiet grace you possess suddenly hit them with agonizing weight. They realized loudly that they threw away a genuine diamond just to play with cheap, dirty rocks. And the most incredible thing happened next. In their frantic state of absolute panic, they actually started aggressively defending your honor to the crowd, while their loyal enablers watched in utter confusion. They desperately tried to convince everyone that you were the greatest thing they ever had. But it was way too late. The flying monkeys stared at them in sheer, terrified silence. The entire room witnessed the pathetic reality of a broken parasite starving without its human battery, and the grand illusion they built over many years evaporated instantly. They looked absolutely crazy while grasping for invisible lifelines. This is the cinematic justice heaven prepared exclusively for you. You won the ultimate war without ever lifting a single finger in defense. Your profound silence was the exact lethal weapon that starved their demonic pride into deep submission. Now they are publicly drowning in the terrible noise of their own miserable making, and every single lie they planted about you has aggressively backfired into their own miserable face. Their reputation is permanently stained by the dirty mud they tried to throw at your clean royal garments. The universe is forcing them to drink the bitter poison they carefully mixed for you, and they must swallow every single heavy drop while the world watches them choke. You are perfectly safe, and you are seated comfortably on a high mountain while their toxic valley floods completely with massive karmic debt. Do not feel bad for their painful public humiliation today. Any trace of pure human empathy right now is a dangerous trap set by the old matrix. You must claim this massive vindication with absolute bold authority. They dug a deep, dark grave specifically for your divine destiny, but they slipped and fell into that exact same hole while you levitated gracefully over the hidden trap. The crown they tried to steal is now being permanently bolted to your sovereign head. Their dark empire is burning brightly to the ground, and the thick smoke from their massive destruction is a clear signal that your timeline has shifted forever. Heaven is making a very loud public spectacle of your greatest earthly enemies because the cosmic scales are finally balanced in your ultimate favor tonight. You are the anointed cycle breaker who survived the hot fire. You proved your immense loyalty to the light when nobody was watching, and because you trusted the divine process through the painful, silent years, Archangel Michael is delivering this exact, explosive victory into your steady hands. Breathe in the incredibly sweet air of total, absolute freedom. Their dark reign is officially over. The spiritual eviction notice is fully executed. You are completely untethered from their miserable, sinking ship. But the absolute destruction of your enemy is only the first half of tonight. Heaven did not just clear the toxic stage to leave it completely empty, because the massive space they previously occupied is about to be filled with overflowing abundance. The prophetic instruction is finally arriving next. The stage is now completely cleared for your massive earthly reward. The toxic actors have been permanently removed from your sacred timeline. And this brings us to the final, undeniable verdict from heaven that we promised at the very beginning of this transmission. The specific prophetic instruction from Archangel Michael is fully unlocked right now. You are about to be very happy tonight. You waited in the dark for so long, expecting absolutely nothing. You thought your quiet sacrifices were entirely forgotten by the busy world. But heaven kept a meticulous record of every single tear you shed in secret. Archangel Michael is personally delivering the magnificent harvest you earned because your pure faith never wavered during the most violent spiritual storm. The heavy season of waiting is officially over. A massive, energetic portal of extreme abundance is opening directly over you. The deep financial struggles that kept you awake at night are shattering into tiny pieces. The heavy doors that were violently slammed in your face are being blown wide open. You are stepping into a profound, permanent season of total overflow while your bitter enemies watch from the cold, dark. The blessing is absolutely undeniable today. You walked into this painful season bleeding from very deep wounds. Blind and broken people inflicted heavy damage on your pure, trusting soul. But look at your majestic spirit right now in this exact moment. You have completely transcended their toxic lower matrix, and you are stepping into your permanent, untouched, ageless glow while they publicly unravel in shame. You are a true sovereign. You hold the ultimate power. The secret mandate sealed in the highest courts of heaven is incredibly simple. You must physically open your hands tonight to receive the massive wealth transfer. The universe is literally redirecting the stolen resources of the wicked directly into your pure royal accounts. Do not question how this massive shift will magically happen in the physical earthly world. Just know the cosmic scales are tipping right now. When your head hits the pillow tonight, a profound physical peace will rush in. The suffocating tight weight on your chest will completely vanish forever. You will wake up tomorrow morning to physical evidence that your reality has violently shifted. You will receive the exact phone call or message you desperately prayed for, because heaven is answering you directly and publicly. The painful, silent wait is entirely done. Archangel Michael specifically intercepted your digital feed today to guarantee this exact joy. He wanted you to know that heaven is extremely proud of your deep resilience. You broke the heavy generational curses and secured a brilliant future for your family. And because you passed the ultimate test of silence, you are being crowned with immense divine favor tonight. Smile right now. You won the massive spiritual war. Your left brain will try to tell you this is way too good. It will desperately search for the hidden catch out of old survival habit. You must silence that old matrix programming immediately before it takes root. You are a demonstrated warrior of light who paid the absolute highest price, and you absolutely deserve every single ounce of this immense joy arriving tonight. Do not reject your massive divine blessing. Let the warm frequency of absolute victory wash over your physical body right now. The heavy spiritual warfare is permanently finished for good. Your desperate enemies are utterly defeated and entirely gone from your path. The universe is handing you the golden keys to the majestic kingdom you always secretly knew belonged to your pure chosen bloodline. Claim your massive royal inheritance. Step fully into the brilliant light. The divine prophecy is completely fulfilled tonight in your physical reality. You are safely anchored in the highest dimension of pure, unlimited creation. Everything you touch from this moment forward will automatically turn into brilliant solid gold. Your deep pain has been perfectly alchemized into supreme earthly power that no dark entity can ever steal from you. Prepare your heart for the ultimate sacred seal. Your new, beautiful life begins right now. Breathe out the heavy air of the old matrix. The violent spiritual storm has finally passed. You are completely safe now. The beautiful dawn is breaking over your new, majestic kingdom, and the dark, vicious shadows that haunted your steps have been banished forever. You are standing on highly sacred ground today. Heaven has placed a massive, impenetrable shield of divine fire around your physical body and your home. You are no longer a tired empath bleeding for completely ungrateful people. You are a sovereign creator who bends reality with a single pure thought. The painful, heavy memories of their cruel betrayal are simply washing away like dirty dust in a heavy rain. They cannot reach you here in this highly elevated dimension. You are permanently unplugged from their chaotic drama, and you are finally free to enjoy the immense peace you desperately craved. Every single thing they stole from you is returning right now in full. Heaven is actively multiplying your lost years and restoring your stolen joy tenfold. Your physical body is fully absorbing the ultimate healing frequency of absolute victory. The heavy bone, deep exhaustion is being replaced by a vibrant, ageless glow. You will walk into every room with undeniable royal authority, and the universe will immediately part the heavy seas for your grand arrival. But this massive, energetic shift requires a final physical anchor from you. The absolute verdict of explosive abundance has already been signed in the high courts of heaven today. However, it requires a deliberate physical act on earth to fully activate the portal. You did not survive the hot blazing fire just to live a mediocre life. You survived to build a massive generational legacy of pure light. And you must prove to the universe that you are entirely ready. God does not measure your deep faith by your quiet internal thoughts. He measures your absolute faith by your speed of immediate obedience. The massive window of divine multiplication is standing wide open right now, but it will not wait for your human hesitation. The desperate enemy will try to whisper financial doubt into your left brain right now. He will tell you to wait and carefully calculate. You must aggressively silence that old spirit of lack. That human hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep you broke and completely powerless. If your spirit is vibrating with a deep cellular knowing right now, heaven demands immediate physical action. You must step entirely out of earthly fear and walk boldly into divine financial partnership. When you hold on tightly to your limited resources, you block the infinite river of heavenly wealth from washing over your life. Release the heavy fear tonight. Your pure generosity triggers the massive financial harvest. Sow your financial seed of faith today to physically partner with this specific divine mandate. Give a super thanks or leave a dedicated offering to permanently lock your frequency into this prophetic decree. When you plant your seed in fertile spiritual soil, you force the universe to multiply your massive harvest before the bright sun rises tomorrow. Do not let this sacred portal close without your physical seal. Type the words "I am free" in the comments below to publicly declare your permanent emancipation from the dark elite. Share this exact message with one pure soul who is crying out in the dark for a massive shift. Subscribe to this sacred sanctuary so you never miss the prophetic instructions heaven releases next. We are building an untouchable global army of anointed cycle breakers, and you are a vital royal pillar in this massive remnant. Rest deeply and peacefully tonight. The powerful angels are standing guard at your front door, and the master manipulator is completely powerless against your thick divine armor. You survived the brutal cold wilderness. You crossed the heavy raging waters. Now you are fully entering the promised land of milk and honey. Archangel Michael seals this raw truth over your life forever. Claim your majestic crown. Your ultimate victory is absolutely and permanently secure.